I hope that you are getting yourself all ready for the holidays and looking forward to some relaxation. This week we're going to talk about emails. Sometimes we forget that in the craziness of the holidays we're just shooting off emails without even really thinking about really what's in the email because we just need to get it off before we take a break. So what I wanted to talk about this week is do's and don'ts of emails when you're sending them out. I won't go over everything. You can read my column in full if you want to read everything, but just a couple to keep in mind. Number one, think about your tone of your emails when you send them out. You know, we know what we're saying, maybe talking in our voice in our head, but the reality is that the tone of an email can come off to someone else completely different than the way you intended it. So if you're not quite sure, maybe have someone else read it and see how they perceive it, just to make sure that the tone in your letter isn't misleading. The other thing is, if you ever start an email by saying, I know I shouldn't be sending this, but don't send it. I think that I'd like to say common sense, but I've gotten a few of those and perhaps considered sending a few of them but haven't, so keep that in mind. Also, just remember that private email is an oxymoron. Once you send an email, it is up in cyberspace, and very often not only does it hang up there and can be retrieved, but sometimes someone will forward something and you never know if your email is embedded there. So you have to be very, very careful. As much as we love email and we love the convenience of it, it isn't always the best because we might not be as thoughtful about what we're sending. And finally, don't forget that there's nothing better sometimes than a handwritten email. If you're sending an email to thank somebody, why not write it, send a card, or good old-fashioned snail mail is a wonderful way to thank somebody or to recognize them without sending an email, because that's just a little bit too easy, and a card really shows that you put the thought and the time into it. So with that, I hope that you all have a very, very Merry Christmas, and starting in January, we will officially change our current deliveries to Thursday, and we will be sending them every other month. I've been listening to some of you sharing with me that a different day might be more advantageous so that you can take the time to read it. So starting in January, we'll be sending them out on Thursday and every other week versus every week. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.